Hello everyone, good morning. Today we are discussing chapter 2 of Letting Go, the book review of Letting Go, the Pathway to Surrender by Dr. Hawkins. I have a little disclaimer to make. All the concepts we are talking in itself, each one is a book. There is a book on law of attraction. There is a book on power of habit. So there are a lot of books. I read books and I give reviews. It does not mean I have perfected the art or mastered anything. It's just what my observation was, how I understood when I'm reading the book. I wanted to share it with you. So I just wanted to keep it out there that I'm not guru in any of these. I'm just a beginner and I'm learning stuff along with all of you. I'm just sharing what I have read and studied or anything like that. So now that is out of the way. Last time we discussed about the law of attraction. And as I said, there is a book in itself. And it's really great to understand that like attracts like. With whichever frequency you are vibrating, you are going to attract that. It's as simple as that. The world is not out there to ruin you, to destroy you. Universe is not out there to give you a lot of punishments. Karma, yes, it is there, but it is all your... Do you think people who are not suffering don't have bad karma? That is not true, right? Everybody has... I don't know if it is equal amounts, but there is some amount of bad karma, some amount of good karma. How you take what you have, do the best you can, and navigate through the phase is how your life is. It is as simple as that. So when you are in a lot of suffering, you need to understand that I have to learn techniques on how to go through this phase, how to handle this phase. That is what this book is about. How you can let go of things that are bothering you so that whether you get a bad phase or a good phase, you can handle it with grace. That is what is Sthita Pragnatvam in Bhagavad Gita is, right? Equanimity. You have to have balanced mind. You shouldn't get too depressed. You shouldn't get too happy. Anything, excess is bad. So the Buddhist way of moderate way, the medium way is what you have to follow. Everything in moderation so that you won't get your boat won't rock, right? When things happen. So that is what this is. And we are going to go to today's topic of the mechanism of letting go. And Sailaja Garu was saying that this is what we practice. This is the method we practice in Yoga Nidra. So what is the concept? How do you let go of things, right? First thing is you should not judge yourself. Let the feeling be there. Don't judge it. Don't feel bad about yourself or some other person. Just, it is what it is. Don't try to question too much. It's like, oh my God, why am I getting this feeling? I thought I'm enlightened. I thought I mastered this. I thought I read this book. I thought I did this, followed this workshop. I should not be getting anger. And you get too hard on yourself for being angry, but you're human. If you were not going through all these emotions, you wouldn't be human. You would be in some heaven or something. The fact that we're human, we are going to go through emotions and thoughts, and cut yourself some slack, right? It's as simple as this. If something cuts, you are going to bleed. You could be a guru, you could be Sadguru or anybody, but something cuts, you bleed. How you react to that, that is what it is. It is how you react to the situation, how you react to an event, how you react to an incident, how you react to an action that happened. That is what makes or breaks the deal, right? It will make you to manage it or you suffer it. That's what it is. We all know that some people have very, very low tolerance to pain. A small cut and they're, oh my God, I'm bleeding. I need a band-aid. And oh, I cannot do any work today. My hand, I cut it. I cannot wash dishes. I cannot do this. I cannot do that. I cannot type. Or, okay, it happened. And some people, it bleeds profusely and they're like, they'll just put a band-aid, they'll wrap it off with a wrap and they'll be doing stuff and you'll still see red going on. They're okay with it. So what is the difference between both of them? The event is the same. They both had a cut. The other person has learned that external events won't shatter me completely, right? That is what we are here to learn. How to let go of all the negative feelings, or not let go completely, but how to understand, to manage so that your life is stable. Whatever comes into your life, you are not like going ups and downs, and it's not a hurricane or a tornado, right? So let the feeling be there, being aware of the feeling, right? And focus on letting out the energy behind it. Everything, we talked about it last time, everything has energy associated with it. A feeling has an energy associated with it. A thought has an energy associated with it. A feeling is formed by thousands of thoughts. So the energy associated, even if 1 unit of energy is associated with a thought, 1,000 units of energy is associated minimum with a one feeling. So when we are not letting go, we are suppressing all that energy in our body. And our body has a capacity, right? I have a certain capacity. Everybody has a different capacity based on their consciousness level, right? How much you are aware of things, spiritual awareness or emotional intelligence or whatever it is. So based on that, my body can store only so much. Even if I'm a person who suppresses and represses everything, still there is a capacity. What will happen after that capacity is reached? It will manifest in the form of disease. Dis-ease. Your body is not in ease. It is uncomfortable. This is it. Super saturation level, right? I cannot handle it anymore. So it will express it out. How does it express it out? In the form of disease, in the form of anger, in the form of outburst, right? Things like that. So focus on, let the feeling be there. Focus on letting out the energy behind it. First step is to drop the judgment. We are very, very quick to judge ourselves. We are highly self-critical. And there is ego. Always ego plays a role. Ego's job is to make you feel comfortable. It's a survival mechanism. But it has gone out of its place to create so much of, so it's like this, right? Tough parenting. When your kid is learning to walk, every time he falls down, do you go and lift him up? It's like, oh my God, you fell down, you fell down, you fell. You have to watch him, let him walk. Actually, in fact, all the adults in the house, they are like, they are so happy when they make jokes on the kid who is falling down every time, tumbling on walking, right? That is needed. You are not supposed to go and lift him up. Otherwise, he will never learn to walk. His legs have to strengthen up. He has to learn to come up, get up after dropping, right? Ego, instead, if ego is like a parent who pampers their kids, ego does not want you to feel bad. It doesn't want you to feel as, oh, there's nothing wrong, you are okay. Oh, you threw a cup of milk. It's like, hey, what is this? You can handle it. Why don't you get something and clean it? Do you see the difference in parenting, where some parents are like, they always pamper the kids? They're like, okay, do whatever you want for whatever reason. Again, there are always exceptions. I'm not talking about exceptions. I'm talking about the normal spectrum, right? And there are parents who are like, they clean up everything after the kid. They eat, they don't clean up after themselves, they don't do laundry, they don't do their own chores, they don't learn anything. What happens is, yes, they will grow up, they will learn everything. Yes, I understand all that. But when they go out to college or when they go out of your house, that's when they are learning all things and they're not used to it. And they feel so much of hardship. They feel so much of homesickness. Instead, why not make it practice and put it in autopilot mode so that they are not worrying about it later on, right? Letting go is something similar. Our ego tries to protect us with everything. It wants to blame others because you're a good person. I want to feel I'm a good person. I want to feel that I'm holier than thou. So if anything happens to me, if I get mad in your presence, it's you, it's not me. I have read so many books. I do so many pujas. I do whatever. I go to temple. I go to listen to so many pravachanam. So I am an enlightened person. I am aware. I learned everything, in the sense I heard everything. I absorbed everything. If you're getting angry, getting upset so much, then it is not. Again, it is of different levels, right? It is of different levels. It's like the last straw that broke camel's back kind of thing, right? Camel is known to lift a lot of weights. So one straw, does it break the camel's back? No. If somebody has annoyed you, in spite of being like practicing letting go, being very calm and composed, meditating and everything, still, if after a series of events, if you see, again, you shouldn't judge yourself, you shouldn't judge others too. What if I still get mad? You cannot come and say, oh yeah, she's preaching all these things, but how come one thing I said, it is not even a big deal and she got really upset? Maybe I was letting go, and I got really bugged up. I had a very bad day since morning, and you happen to be the person in front of me when I just had it. Enough, right? So whatever it is, my point is, whatever it is, drop the judgment. See that it is just a feeling. Don't give more importance to it than just a feeling. It is not that one feeling has more weight than other things. Yes, they have a frequency based on map of consciousness, but if you consider feeling as a feeling, right? Like if you consider in a buffet, you have desserts and you have spicy food and you have appetizers, you have main course, everything. Everything is food. Eat everything in moderation, you'll be fine. Instead, don't hog on all the desserts. Don't hog on all the appetizers based on your sweet tooth or savory tooth, right? It is just a food. If you consider that way, I want to taste it. If I like it, I'll eat it. If I don't, if you consider feelings like that. So, oh, I'm anger. Somebody passed away. I lost something. So I'm in grief. So is grief better than anger? Grief, I'm only suppressing myself. It's only affecting me. But anger, I'm lashing it out on somebody. It is not like that. Whatever feeling you're feeling, everybody around you is getting a piece of it. Whether you are depressed and sitting by yourself, your loved ones cannot see you that way. You are impacting them. Whether you lash out your anger on somebody or you're sitting depressed and in grief or remorse or anything, equally they are doing the same damage to people, right? One thing, they are sympathetic to you on one, and the other one, they are really mad at you. It doesn't matter. So if we consider feeling as just a feeling, let it be there. Focus on the energy behind it, right? Technique is to be with the feeling. Don't abandon it. Look what it is. Acknowledge that you have that feeling. Acknowledge that I am getting angry with this. That is awareness, right? That is awareness, not unconscious living. Awareness is understanding what are the triggers. What makes you angry? What makes you upset? What makes you jealous? What makes you envy? By the way, there is a difference between envy and jealousy. There is this book called The Anatomy of the Atlas of the Heart by Dr. Brené Brown, the same person who wrote The Gift of Imperfections. She categorizes emotions into 84 emotions and categorizes them into buckets. When do we feel a certain way, a certain set of emotions, based on what does it mean? Because those are emotion behind emotions, right? When we feel uncertain, how do we feel? When we feel anger, what do we feel? And in that, she explains what each emotion is. It is so important to understand what you're going through. There's a difference between jealousy and envy. Envy means if you win a lottery, then I'm envious, then you buy something out of that lottery, right? You won a lottery for $100,000 or something. You bought something nice. Envy is, I wish I had something like that, but I'm not losing anything. I'm just like, oh, it's nice, but I wish I got that lottery, right? But jealousy means loss. If there is one promotion, we both are equally talented, or we both were up for the promotion. You got it. There is only one slot. So one of them got it means the other one, you lost it. So if I lost it to you, that is, I'm jealous of your role, because jealousy comes out of loss. I lost something. Jealousy means, yes, I wish I had what you had, but I'm mad also because I lost it. I lost something. Envy is not that. Envy and jealousy are different. So we use words interchangeably. We don't understand them. And what happens is when somebody is talking, we get into this mundane life and we discuss things and we tell and convince ourselves that, why am I always jealous? No. And am I a bad person because I'm jealous that you got a lottery ticket? I should be happy for you. Why am I feeling jealousy? No, you're feeling envy. You're not feeling jealousy. And envy is a healthy, it's a positive emotion, not a negative emotion, because it lets you have an ambition. It lets you do things, go stuff, whatever, right? So it is very important to understand the feelings, emotions, what is happening when, what is triggering where, how it is triggering me. When we know the science behind all those things, then we have something to work on. If you don't understand, if you put everything under one blanket that, oh, he's very emotional. He's a guy and how emotional. Oh my God, you're so sensitive. Could you be a girl? It's like, you're a mom. You cannot be so emotional. You have to be strong. You cannot cry. You cannot be this sensitive. How can you raise your kids like this? You're a working mom. You cannot be sensitive at all. How will you work and manage kids? So don't put a generalized blanket on top of everything. Try to see the granularity of things. Once you break it down, if there is a huge algebraic expression, you have to break it down. Otherwise, it's overwhelming. You break it down and then you start solving little by little. Eventually, you lead to the result, right? It is something like that. So break it down, understand the granularity of the emotion. Don't judge yourself, right? You have to be with the feeling. It's like a baby, right? It's like a baby who's sick and you're not able to do anything, but you are still with the baby. You're not abandoning the baby, right? And surrender all efforts to modify it in any way. Don't do anything. That is what is letting go means. Letting go means don't try to modify it. Don't try to judge it. Don't try to suppress it. Don't try to express it. Don't try to vent it out. Just be with the feeling and don't modify it. Acknowledge it. Focus on the energy behind it and let it run its course. You have to understand that it is an energy. It's like, the pushback cars you pulled back the car, it has gained energy, right? Now you let it go. It goes to a certain place until that energy is there. It gains momentum, it goes, and then it stops once the energy is gone, right? Something similar. Now, if you pull it back and hold it up, what happens? You will see that the wheels are going because that energy is to go somewhere. It cannot be like, energy can be transformed. It cannot be destroyed or created. It has to be transformed. So it is like that. Let it run its course, right? If you don't want to harm anybody, when you realize that I'm very angry today, try to keep it to yourself. You know what? I'm not in a mood to talk to anybody because I might lash it out. So let me be with me, right? Kind of stuff. But grief, this is the very important thing where grief is not just death of a person, death of a loved one. Grief is loss of anything that you loved. I actually cried a lot when we sold one car of ours. I had that car for 11 years. I drove my kids everywhere to classes and everything. When my son went to college, I was not crying. When we gave up the car, it was not working. It was giving a lot of maintenance issues and everything. So we sold the car and we wanted to sell, but we decided we'll sell. But my husband, Rajesh, he comes one day and he's like, okay, I've been procrastinating. I'll sell the car and come. I'm like, what? You have to give me a little heads up. He said, why? We are not using the car. It's just sitting there. I want to give it income. I'm like, okay. And he starts emptying the stuff in the car, right? And I'm like, I couldn't stop it. I was like crying a lot. And my younger one looks at me and says, Amma, do you love your car more than Anna? Why did you cry when Anna went to college? It's some things you are very attached to. So I was grieving. I was mourning the loss of my car, which I drove for 11 years and had so many beautiful memories attached with it, right? My answer was, I can see Anna again. I can talk to him. I can do FaceTime. I cannot do that with this car. I cannot see that again. That is what is bothering me a lot. And that, separation is what is bothering me a lot. It's okay. Grief means it's not just, and actually I was not, that day I didn't feel like cooking. I was like, okay, Rajesh, order pizza or something. I was binge watching TV. I was avoiding people. It took me 2 days or 3 days. And still I was getting so many memories of that car. So grief is loss of something you love. What we do is we'll see like any person will go through that. If you're going through that, instead of running its course, if you suppress and repress it, irrespective of what other people say, that is very, very important. My father passed away when I was 7 months pregnant. I was in US. I was not allowed to fly because of visa issues or whatever. If I go, I had to wait there for 1 month to get my visa renewed and come back. By then it would be almost 9th month. And they said, don't fly during that time. I was a high risk pregnancy. And because of those things, I had to stay back here. Everybody, I have a very big extended family, and they were like, don't cry. It is not good for the baby. That's what they said. Everybody, don't cry. I did not cry. You will not believe I didn't cry. And I was like I'm a problem solver. Whenever a problem comes, I go into this warrior mode. At work or with kids or anything, I have to solve it. And I take it as a challenge. I solve it. I'm that kind of a personality. I don't think I sit and grieve and moan kind of person, but I did not do it. It manifested in the form of severe, severe back pain. That energy of grief, which was repressed, it manifested as severe back pain for me. So let it run its course. It's not worth it. The consequences you face because you have suppressed emotions is not at all worth it. Not for you, not for anybody who is living around you, right? So that is what it is. Being aware of the feeling, letting it come up, staying with it, letting it run its course. And then that's how you let go. Once you let it run its course, the energy behind the feeling dissipates. And once that is done, the energy has done, a feeling has done its job, it has done, move on. It won't be like, do anything else later on kind of stuff. Resistance keeps the feeling going. Slay resistance, keep moving. I really like this saying. Don't resist. Don't try to say that, you know what, I don't have the luxury to feel angry right now. I have a big release tomorrow. I cannot sit and grieve. I cannot sit and moan. I cannot do this release. The fact is, you can do every work. You need not stop things. You can still feel things. The more you're resisting, you're continuing that feeling more and more and more. You can still do whatever you're doing at a less percentage of your capacity. When people say that, oh, I have to push that grief away because I need my 100% on this today. At what cost? What are you ready to pay for that? Okay, you gave a beautiful presentation. Okay, your release went well. Your product launch went well. So what? Then what? Right? So give up resisting or trying to modify the feeling. It will shift to the next feeling. If you don't take care of it now, it will shift to the next feeling. And then if you don't do anything, right? If you don't resist anything, it won't stay long. It will take it. Usually it seems, I did not put it on the slide. Last time I mentioned this. It seems any emotion, it has the duration of 90 seconds if you don't interfere. I don't know if it is talking about grief or any of the stronger emotions, but I did not read the entire article. I have to go back and read it. But it seems every emotion has a course of 90 seconds. Every thought has a course of 90 seconds. If you're aware of it, if you're not touching it, if you don't meddle with it. And if you don't resist anything, then that 90 seconds is done, it will go to the next one. Just imagine if we can master the art of not interfering, non-interference. If we can master that art, whatever emotions, every day we all go through so many emotions, right? Thousands, if not millions of emotions. If everything goes away in 90 seconds, and it's not stored in our bodies, in our mind, in our heart, how peaceful life will be. That is inner peace, I think, right? The feeling that is not resisted will disappear as the energy behind it disappears, and you'll forget about it. I really, when I hear people talking about their hardships, right, they recall it so much, so many times, with such great detail. I was dying, I was this, I was that. Whenever you're recalling so strongly, you are reliving that emotion. What's happening is you are torturing your body so much, again and again and again, lashing it out. It will be tired. It's all you. It is not the pain, it is not the disease. Our entire human body has the capacity to fix itself. There is a pharmacy within us. There are doctors within us, the external medical doctors who they are yet to understand our entire human body. But guess what? We are so fortunate that if you don't meddle, if you don't interfere, if you don't mull over, your body is a perfect doctor. It has the pharmacy. It doesn't even have to go up. It can generate the medicines it needs to fix your body. Any ailment can be fixed within ourselves, provided And maybe there are certain things that need surgery or anything, but suffering need not be there. You need not suffer. When you're reliving an emotion, when you're reliving the memories of your past, there is a saying called forgive and forget. Forgive and forget is not just for humans. Oh, my sister, my brother, my mother, whatever. It is not just that. It is what happened to you as well. If you think during the moment of going through pain or physical suffering or anything, you will feel that it is not fair. I am in my 20s. I'm supposed to go out there and work. Actually, one of my friends, she on New Year's Day, she was coming back along with her colleague on a bike, and a lorry, huge truck came and hit her. She had an accident. She finished her education. She just joined the job, and she was about to get married. She was already engaged or something, I think. She was about to get married. She was hit by a truck. I don't know if it is one knee or both knees. She had a huge accident. There are steel rods in her leg. A girl who was 23, 22 or 23. She stayed home for 6 months. She recovered. While recovering, I think they wanted to move, and their parents were getting a new house or something getting constructed. This is in Hyderabad, by the way. She stayed there. Anyway, I'm home. So she said both parents were working. I'm not sure of the details, but she stayed home. She got the house constructed. She was bedridden for a long time because she had knee surgeries done. She was badly injured. She recovered. She got married. She came to US. She has a beautiful house, beautiful job, great life. It's just imagine how this would have done to some other people who, right? Why would this happen to me at the age of 22? If she did not play her cards right, she would have lost the marriage. She would have lost the relationship. She would have not come up out of her trauma. And if she relived that oh my God, it was hell of course it was hell for her. Her one leg or both legs were injured to the extent she could not walk. She was holding crutches and walking. She could not move. She was dependent. For a healthy young woman to be dependent on somebody else, what does it do to your psyche, right? So when you don't recall all the bad things that happened to you, forgive yourself for thinking that this is unfair, whatever you happened. Forgive the people, forgive the truck driver, forgive whatever reasons. Forgive yourself for going out that day to go to the party. I shouldn't have gone to the party. All this wouldn't have happened. Forgive yourself, forgive the people around you, and forget about it. Of all the good things that happened in your life, why would you remember the bad things in your life? Why would you keep on adding more and more layers to your these things, right? Problems. So let go of the resistance. Once you forget the feeling, right? Once you stop the resistance, the feeling would have run its course, and you'll forget it, and it won't even stay in your memory. When you see some people, right, they don't remember whenever they are talking. When the way in which you introduce yourself, if you're talking about so much pain, so much trauma, and you never mention the good things in your life, that means you are not even grateful to what is happening in your life. And let me tell you this. In human life, there are equal number of good and bad things in everybody based on the capacity, based on individual's capacity. Nothing is given to you that you cannot handle. Nothing is ever given to you. This came up in Gift of Imperfections. This came up in You Forever book. Every other book I read. You are not given anything that you cannot handle. It is not comparative to the next person to me. It is not that me and my friend, we grew up the same. Neelima and I, we grew up in the same area. We studied in the same school. We got married. We both came to US. I cannot compare to her, or she cannot compare to me. It is based on her spiritual journey, her soul journey, and my journey. Based on our capacities, what is given to us is what we can handle. You cannot say that, oh, she had this, I have this. No, it doesn't work that way. Based on your soul journey, whatever is needed for you to grow, those experiences are given to you. Again, not everything is hardship. Not everything is difficulty. It is equal amounts of, you are given some hardships and then you are given some nice days, but it is all your perspective. If you don't see the nice days, and even during the nice days you are remembering the bad ones, nobody can help it. It's like, if you're given some blessings, you have a choice of investing, being grateful, attracting more of those, and investing those blessings into something else, paying it forward. Those will give you more blessings. There is a way, right? I gave you $10 and I'm saying, okay, your allowances are like, your allowance is $10 per month or week or whatever, based on what age you are in. And your expenses are, let's say, $5. Or you have a choice of wasting all the $10, like spending all the $10 and not have anything in bank, or you can invest them. Being grateful is like investing your blessings, which multiplies. You can do $2 of investment or save. Forget about investing and multiplying it, at least saving it. You need not expend all $10. You can save $2. Every month you're saving $2. Eventually you have some money to save, to enjoy. And because you have savings, you are in a confidence that you'll not be worried. Tomorrow when hardship comes, the month I don't give you money, $10, you're like, okay, I saved up. I have $10 for this month, so I'm fine. Do you see what I'm talking about? Life is all about a little bit of hardship, little bit of happiness, little bit, because if it is all happiness, you will never grow. You will never grow out of your comfort zone. You will never learn. It is through hardships that you're learning and growing. But it is not given so much hardships that you are never appreciate you. If it is always hard work, if it is always suffering, there is no ray of light, then you won't live. You will kill yourself. What is the point of living, right? There is hope. We are living because there is hope. You're looking forward to something. That hope is a good thing that is happening in your life. That hope that lets you live is the good thing happening in your life. If you count on your blessings for that, and it could be very, very small things. We don't notice. We take so much for granted. If we look at, and one other thing is, it's like God is like a parent, right? Universe or God is like a parent. When you're looking at your kid fall down every time they're walking, they are falling down, they are learning. It's a safe space. It's in your room, in the comfort of your like family room or something. You are like clapping, everybody's around and everything, right? It might, for the kid, it might look like, oh my God, I'm falling so many times. What the hell is my mom doing? Why is she clapping? Why is she happy? Right? But that's when we say that, why is God not doing anything to me? I'm suffering. Why is God not doing anything? But the moment your kid comes to a place where there is a step, or where there is water, or where there is anything, when they're trying to step out of the house, when the door is open, you pull them and you pull them out. You don't let them go. You don't let them watch because you are not sure, because it is not in the capacity of the kid who's just learning to walk to explore outside, to explore steps. They don't even know how to walk on the plain floor. Why would you let them go to steps? Because what will happen if they tumble down the steps? That is what God is for you. Whenever you are having sufferings, He's giving you enough so that you will fall, you'll learn, you'll grow up. The moment it is getting too much, He'll lift you up. He's always lift you up. It has never happened. That is the universe. That is the universe's plan. If it lets you, if it does not lift you up, you might go into danger and the chaos, right? Chaos will happen. The balance of the universe will be lost. You are given this life to fulfill a feeling. Your just pure existence without all this drama is satisfying that feeling, that purpose of your life. You have to have trust and faith that when things go beyond, God will be there to pick it up. If God is not getting me out of this, that means I am not dealing with this right. If I am in 5th grade, if I'm not able to solve the problems in 5th grade, I am supposed to be able to solve it in 5th grade. Then get external help. Tell your parents, get your tuition or something. Because at this age, you are supposed to learn this and you have the capability to solve those problems, right? If you need external help, ask for help. Similarly, when you are in a bad situation, if you need help, ask for help. But if a teacher comes, keeps on giving you training, but you don't want to learn, you want to stay in that suffering stage of blaming somebody. My teacher is like this. My parents are like, I don't know why they want to do this. I cannot do this. That is resistance. If you're constantly giving resistance to things, then you will not grow. You will always suffer. Maybe you are going through a good phase right now, but you can't even realize because you're always complaining. If you're always complaining and resisting, the good phase will go away and your bad phase will start again. How are you going to deal with it? That's when, if your life feels like a big suffering, that means you have not appreciated the good things. You missed the good phases in your life. You're not aware enough because you're too complaining about what is not good in your life. So think about it. A fear of fear. So there is a fear of the feeling. Like, forget about the first feeling itself. It's like, oh, I practiced this. I did 21 days of affirmations. I did mirror work. I did this. I am not supposed to get angry anymore. I went to angry management classes. The other day, I'll tell you what. I do yoga with Sailaji Garu and Srikant Garu, right? Srikant Garu, I had for meditation, I had lots of ups and downs. I apparently have a lot of energy, and that energy has to come out in a nice, smooth way, but it does not. So I get a lot of something called myoclonic jerks. My body jerks a lot when I meditate. Used to, not anymore. So Pavam Srikant Garu took it on a mission, and he started teaching me yoga plus meditation in a certain way. And it's almost 1 year now that I'm learning yoga with them. And he has programmed the meditation so well, customized them so well for me, that I'm really proud to say that I'm able to do 30 minutes meditation without, and it's really great, right? So the last thing was Nirvana Shatakam. I'm going to touch about Nirvana Shatakam later on. So Nirvana Shatakam, the whole concept is, it says, it is a very big letting go part of thing to understand. It says that I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, I am not my mother, I'm not my father. Basically, who are you? When Sankaracharya was asked, who are you? He says, who I am not. And then he says, I am this one consciousness. I'm Sivoham Sivoham. Chidananda Rupa Sivoham Sivoham. I am the Chit Ananda Rupa Sivoham. One consciousness, one bliss, right? So Srikant Garu gave me that and said that don't chant that, just listen to that and focus on your third eye and do meditation. That was the instruction for me. I did it for 1 week, and then I had to take 1 month break from yoga. I was not well, my kid was not well. I took 1 month break in yoga. And once I came back, I know he has a lot of students, he's very busy, but I kept telling him that I am able to do meditation 30 minutes, but I'm not doing yoga. So once I came back, the first day he asked that, and that day, just before, my mom said something about my wonderful parenting, commented on my parenting. And she has a way of saying, instead of putting it in a positive spin, she'll ask the negative thing. Did you even feed your kids? You could have instead asked, did the kids eat? I'm very specific about how you frame your sentence. And she says, what is wrong with you? It's okay if it's the same meaning. No, it is like, did you even feed your kids? I'm a mom. Of course, I'll feed them. I might not have given them rice. I might have given them Maggie, but of course, I will feed my kids, right? So I just had that argument with my mom on how to phrase the sentence right to come out in a positive way. And then I go to my yoga class, first class after 1 month, right? And Srikant Garu asked, did you do meditation or not at all? I said, it pisses me off big time that you phrase the sentence that way. He's my guru. Where is the respect? I was taking out the anger of what my mom said on him. I said, na kollu mandipotundi. Meer ala enduku adigaru? Why didn't you say meeru meditation chesara, and why didn't you stop there? Or cheyaleda? Enduku annaru atlaga? And then his response was, if you're reacting that way to my question, the whole point of doing Nirvana Shatakam is lost. The point I'm trying to make is, just because I'm doing that Nirvana Shatakam, I'm much better, but I'm not there yet. Things still bother me, depending on what is important to me, right? I was like, I wanted to say, you know what? In spite of all this, I still did meditation. I was so proud of it. And he broke my pride with that one sentence. It did bother me. So when we are practicing, when we are doing all these practices, when we are doing this meditation, Sushumna meditation, this one, that one, and we are getting these instructions from everybody and we are trying to follow them, still when you get those feelings, we are like scared of to get the feeling, oh, I used to be very angry before, I should not be angry anymore. No, that is not true. Anger will come, but how long will it stay? Are you going to mull over it? Are you going to like marinate it, ferment it, make it more and more? That is what it is. So let go of the fear of the feeling, fear of the fear, right? Fear of the guilt or any other emotion, right? Then get into the feeling itself. Ignore all thoughts. Thoughts are endless. They only breed more thoughts. One thought will lead to another one, this one. The more, it's like literally exponentially grows, not even linearly. It grows exponentially. And it rationalizes the mind, right? Basically, it tries to tell you, your ego tries to tell you why you are right. Oh, my mom always thinks like this. My mom just asked, it's just a question. Because why? I have a reputation of forgetting to feed my kids. She does everything, but when I'm responsible, I'm reading a book and I forget. Unless they come and ask me, I'm hungry, I won't call them for lunch or something on a weekend. She's like, how is your motherly instinct missing? You should be like, my son did not eat. I will eat first. I don't mind. Because my body is telling me I'm hungry, I will go and eat. If my kids come and ask, they're not babies, okay? I'm not that bad of a mom either. But somewhere there is guilt. So that is a trigger. When my mom asks, did you feed your kids? That's a trigger for me. It bothered me. That's why I lashed out, right? So my ego is trying to tell me that you are okay. Even though you don't think of your kids, even though you don't have any maternal instincts, you are okay. My ego is trying to tell me that, it's trying to protect me. So I'm rationalizing my thoughts and I'm saying I'm okay. That's why I'm trying to defend myself. When do you defend yourself? When you're feeling guilty about something and you want to prove to the other person that I am good. Even though you say that this is not, I am good. If you are really good, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to justify anything to anybody, right? If you're really, you can just be. If they don't see it, their loss. They not seeing it should not impact you, right? But our ego tells the other way. And thoughts will try to explain the presence of our feeling. They will try to say, you have this feeling rightfully so because of some unrelated issue, not even this. Your mom has always asked you questions like this. She always questioned your love for your kids or some nonsense. All that is crap. She just asked, did you give food to the kids? If you did not, I will give it. It's as simple as that. It is all with how much lightheartedness you see things. They will fleet. They will run its course and go away. If you add weight to them, if you add the baggage, past baggage, unnecessary baggage, I know you did it like that. You always do it. Why? Because at that time you did this, second time you came late, third time you came late. Why? Right? Ignore all thoughts. Focus on the feeling itself, not on the thoughts. Thoughts or external events are only an excuse made up by the mind. Real reason for the feeling is accumulated pressure behind the feeling. The actual feeling, again, doesn't carry so much weight. The baggage we add to it, the weights we add to it. Let's say you're a swimmer, okay? If you're thrown in the water, if nothing happens, it's a still water, it's a pond, you know how to, come to the surface, swim to the edge and come out, right? But if I added lots of weight to you, weights, I literally put weights, I tied you with all the weights and then threw in the water. Even if you want to, you cannot come out because the weight is pulling you down, right? That is what is thoughts. You are suffering. The actual event of you slipping and falling down into the water, that is not a problem. That's an event. That's an incident that happened. You can come out of the water and come out. If you want, you can take out all the weights and then come out. But all our thoughts, the past, mulling over the past all the time, those are like added weights. They won't let you come out. They will lead you to drown. They will lead you to external consequences of you trying to struggle, drowning, water going inside, and all the drama is not needed. It is not needed. If you just see it as an event and it's like, oh my God, that day, and you'll remember it so many times. Oh my God, when I was 10, I just learned swimming and then I fell in this and I could not see anything. It was a horrible, traumatizing experience. Why am I retelling you all that? I am reliving all that. Forget those things. Forget the bad things that happened in your life. What will you gain out of it? You learned a lesson that I should not stand at the edges anymore, or I should be careful, I should wear proper shoes, or whatever lesson you learned. It will live with you. But why are you retelling the stories? And the thing is, when you're retelling it so many times, right, God knows what really happened. You might have become very creative and transformed the story into something else. Do that for good things, do that for fun things, do that for happy thoughts, not for sad things, right? Because it accumulates a lot of pressure. The more pressure it has pulled you down, and it's more difficult to let go of it. Feelings are merely survival programs. They are there to make you feel better about it, right? If you have surrendered all your thoughts and feelings, then no strong emotion about anything. Some people have strongly feel about some things, right? When you strongly feel about some things, when that becomes your trigger point, when that is questioned, right, then it will bother you a lot. So that is again Bhagavad Gita Sthita Pragnatvam, where they say, don't feel excessively happy or excessively sad, because what makes you excessively happy, when you lose that, you will go into deepest of griefs, right? When you're excessively sad about something and people come and say, even a feather comes, you will be like all shattered, right? Let go of the attachments. Everything is an attachment. You can love. There is a misconception that you are attached to your loved ones. You love more if you're attached to people. That is not true at all. Attachment is a selfish thing. You are attached to things where they give you some kind of sense of happiness, belonging, something like that. A truly selfless person is not attached to anything, because everything has a purpose. I have a phone. The purpose of this phone, I'm using it for phone calls, for texting, for browsing, whatever. I should not be attached to my phone. It's a device. If I lose my phone, I can get another phone. If I don't have iPhone backup, then I lost my data, then I have to figure out. It is an opportunity for you to figure out how to get it back, not go into, like, a lot of pain and suffering of what it happened. Treat things as just events. Don't get attached to people, life, and everything, because the more you are attached to them, the more depressed you will become when they are gone or anything happens to them, right? Once you surrender completely, the dependence will be gone. You'll become independent. You know how they say, oh, teach your kids all the life skills so that they were not as dependent on you. When kids go out to college or go out from the home to start work or anything, the less dependent they are on you, the more free they will be, the less homesick they will be, right? You have to for yourself learn to stop depending on others, because when you're dependent on somebody, they don't live up to your expectations, it's a disappointment, right? Why do you want to have that disappointment? I did so much for you. I asked you one thing and you didn't do it. We don't know the reason why you didn't do it. Maybe you have some other emergency that you're going through. Maybe you have something more important than doing this for me. If you do that what if analysis of what if my brother did not pick up the phone when I really wanted him? What if his phone charge died? He doesn't have charge in his phone. What if he's in a call presenting something? What if he's traveling and he's on the flight and he switched off his phone? What if his kid is sick and he's running around? Whether those are true or not doesn't matter. If you start doing that what if analysis of putting the reason of maybe, the benefit of doubt, then it will be much less trauma for you, much less drama for you. It is just a thing, right? Mind believes as necessary. All the survival programs of blaming others, putting the blame on somebody else, not taking the responsibility, always justifying your emotions, mind believes it is necessary so that you feel good. It's a survival program, right? All negative feelings are associated with a basic fear related to survival. But unfortunately, we are in a very, very safe place where you don't need those survival instincts. We as humans have it. If a tiger comes running, yes, I have to drop everything and run for my life. I need not do that in my day and life right now. I don't need that instinct anymore. And trust me, when it is needed, you will get it. That's how we are made. It's not that, oh, I didn't practice running from a simulated tiger, so I won't be able to when I really go to a forest. It doesn't work that way, right? So we don't need those survival instincts that were needed. So you don't need that. You are not in a do or die situation anywhere. People use this like, oh my God, I will die if I lose this interview. I will not have a life if I don't get in this job. That's giving way too much importance to things, which will only lead to huge disappointments later on. The letting go technique undoes the programs progressively. It literally undoes the survival, the feelings, the survival instincts, which are wrongly interpreted progressively, slowly. The underlying motive behind the feelings becomes more and more apparent. The more you understand, why am I getting this feeling? The more the feeling behind the feeling, the emotion behind the emotion. It's never, whenever you feel angry on somebody, upset with somebody, that is never the true emotion. When you ask enough questions, why does this make me angry? There is something else. Why does this make me angry? If you keep asking why, the point you reach where you cannot answer that why anymore, focus on that, not this. You would have come 10 layers down already. That is your real reason you have to work on. Now, once you work on that, you will know, you'll go further and further. Then you will realize that it is so stupid ego of yours or your whatever is causing all this. And always at the end of all that excavation, it is you. It is you who are creating the world around you. So, boomerang, we all know, you first throw, it comes back. You throw it second time, it comes back. You throw it third time. You know how it comes back, right? So feelings come back too. Surrender a feeling and it returns. When it returns, what does it mean? There is more of it to be surrendered. Okay? And we have suppressed our feelings so long, so effectively. We have become masters in suppressing, and because of social norms. Oh, I feel this way, but I'm not supposed to say this because my mom is around, or I'm an adult, I'm a grown up, I cannot speak like this here, I cannot express out how I'm thinking, whatever it is. Actually, I want you to focus. I want you to focus on one 30-minute duration of your life. How do I feel right now? What am I suppressing? We all suppress. Oh, I'm in a conference at work. I hate this guy. This guy, I told you to do this kind of presentation. He did not do this. Okay, I cannot say anything because we're in a meeting. I cannot do anything. And after the meeting, you come home. It's a weekend. You stay and then you go. Do you see how much time you have suppressed that feeling of not telling how your team member has not done a good job and how they could have done differently? All that. I want you to observe, irrespective of who you are, what you do, we always suppress feelings. And we have done that so many times, over and over and over again. We have solidified, we have a solid metal of, and metal does not melt easily. Yesterday I was giving, like last week, I was giving the example of cement, right? If I put wet cement on something, let's say that is your feeling, a thin layer of wet cement. Quickly, if I let go of that feeling, I use a power wash and I clean it off, that cement is very smooth and it will go off, right? Instead, I will let it stay. It will harden in a few hours. Then I'll come and put a very thin film of one more cement. That will harden. That will harden. Eventually, I have this full block of thick cement, hardened cement. Do you think using a chisel, practicing the letting go is like doing a small chisel and trying to poke it? And you're trying to remove how long does it take for the whole thing to? And for you to see what is the soil you have underneath here, let's say all the negative feelings have this huge block of cement. You have earth, you have soil underneath all this. I have to get rid of this huge cement block. This is what I was given. I was given 1 square foot of place. I have, over the years of my life, I have created that layers and layers and layers of cement. I have this huge block of cement. Now I'm given the task of create something, grow something. That is, I was given a seed. That seed is your talent. That unique talent that is given to you is a seed. What do I do with the seed? I have to plant it. What is the seed? If you leave it like that, a dry seed, nothing will happen. You have to plant it, nourish it, water it, then it will sprout, right? For that, first I have to remove this huge block. And I'm giving a small chisel, small toothpick kind of thing to accomplish this job, right? That is what is our spiritual growth. We have, over the period of time, when we grow, when we are in school, when we are in college, when we are in jobs, family, kids, health problems, our parents, so many feelings, so many hardships, we have created this huge block. And now with all these tools, we are learning how to remove that cement, hardened cement. You clear up all this. You have to dispose of in a certain way. What will happen if you're clearing it? The shavings of the cement will come, but you are not done your job yet. It rains. That cement is going to solidify again, right? It's going to melt, it's going to solidify again. So I don't know the logistics of the cement. If you really poke it out, and if it does not, then it's a different story. But still, if you have to remove all this cement, dispose it off in a certain way that it won't come back to you, then prepare the soil, right? Then prepare the soil, make sure that there are no fragments of cement in the soil, right? Then prepare it well, then put the seed in there and start watering it, then it will grow. So right now we are at the huge block of cement on top of it. That's where we are. So have patience and start chiseling this out, right? That is what it is. So surrender a feeling and it returns, because we have mastered the art of that feeling. More of it is yet to be surrendered. We have stuffed feelings all of our lives, and a lot of energy is pushed down. All that has to come down, express out, transform into something else. It has to come up and has to be acknowledged. You have to properly acknowledge why this happened, when this happened, right? Why this happened, when this happened. And for every feeling that you come, you have to take the accountability. You have to take the responsibility. Yes, you cannot change the external world. It's very unfortunate of what happened to you. You cannot change the external world, but how you reacted to it, that is what actually caused a bunch of other feelings. What could you have done differently? That is the lesson you learn, so that you don't repeat that, right? So that you don't have to go into the spiral of feeling the same feelings again and again and again. When surrender occurs, immediately you'll feel lighter, you'll feel happier. It's almost like a high. It's a relief. It's a huge relief, depending on how much you have suppressed. You are not your feelings. I am an angry person. There's a difference in saying I'm an angry person versus I feel angry when something happens. When I have titled myself, when I've identified myself as an angry person, it's my entire personality. I'm always angry. Everybody will be careful with me, right? Instead, I get angry when things don't go a certain way at work, while release is happening on important days. Do you see how I narrowed it down to a sliver of it? So you are not your feelings. We always identify with our feelings. We are not our feelings. When you disassociate with your feelings, then you are in a state of freedom. Otherwise, you're entangled. All those are chains, right? There is a difference between feeling your feelings and being in victim state. When you're in victim state, you are entangled with chains. And you're saying that somebody chained me and I don't have a way to remove those chains. That is what is a victim, right? You're always putting the blame on others, and you're saying others, people, or events are causing these problems to me. Both are not conducive to manifesting. If done right, feeling your feelings shouldn't take long at all. if done right. That's what we are going to learn in this book, how to let go of each of the feelings, how to let go of each of the emotions, understanding emotions and letting go of each of them, right? By continuously letting go, you'll stay in a state of freedom. And once your body and mind gets used to the taste of freedom, it's amazing. It's like exercising, right? If you have exercised and you love the effects of the exercise, like how you feel, how your body looks and everything, you're hooked to it. You won't stop exercising. So similarly, by continuously letting go and learning to stay in a state of freedom, it is so nice that you want to be in that state all the time. It is also an addiction. You want to stay in the state of freedom all the time, right? Feelings come and go. They happen. It always happens. It's not a big deal. Do you get bugged up if you get seasonal flu or cold and cough with the season? You attribute it to season. It's like, yeah, it is raining a little bit. It's become cold, change of seasons. Yeah, this happens. What if we could do that to every feeling of ours? It's so peaceful, right? When your real you is just witnessing it. That's what it is. When seasonal flus and everything comes, when it comes to your kids, you are like, yeah, this happens, it's okay. And let's say you never fall sick that way, but your kids do. Still, you are not like going gaga or like, oh my God. You are attributing it to the change of seasons. Yeah, they come and go. This happens every year. It's okay. Same thing. Yes, anger comes and goes. Jealousy comes and goes. Yeah, I'm not a bad person because I'm feeling jealousy about this, right? The observing you is aware of what is happening, always stays the same. You are always the same, right? When I am somebody who's prone to cold and cough during change of seasons, it will happen to me every time. I'm not expecting it, but I'm acknowledging it that I do have this problem. Let's say my family never gets it, only I get it. Then, yeah, I get this. It's natural, it's normal, it won't shatter my world. I will prepare. If I drink some pepper, this thing or something, it will help me. I'll have cough drops with me. I'll make sure I have a Kleenex box with me. You prepare. You are not completely shattered that you got, and it is that day is your finals exam, that day is your big event, you are hosting a party. Nothing stops you because you know this happens every time during Diwali time. This happens. I will be prepared because I always host a party. So that's how you do it. We can do that same thing with feelings as well. Yes, they come and go. Life doesn't have to stop. It is little discomfort, but with enough preparation, I'll be fine. After the event is done, I'll go sleep, right? Things like that. Once we become that way, once we not let our feelings ruin our world, we become the witnessing, we become the observer, then we are getting closer and closer to our real self. As I said, that real self is the soil and the seed which has to go into the soil. Until you come there, then planting of the seed happens, then growing happens. So until you realize the real self, so there is no hope until you have digged, removed all the cement and everything, right? It is very difficult to do that. And it is very disappointing. It's like there is no hope. It's like, I know, it's still there. That once you touch the soil, once you see the soil, right? The area of hope comes. You have something to work for. And you are constantly putting in all your efforts to do that. So that is your real self. Feel the real self once, and you will want to do it over and over again. You don't want to give up. Negative feelings are created by ego. What are the feelings that are created by ego versus soul? Soul is one consciousness. You and I are made from the same consciousness. There is no way that I can hate you, be angry at you, mad at you. It is not possible. Our consciousness is the same. So through soul, right? When you say soulmates, that means I have identified that connection with you in the same life. In the same life, the connections we make it is a spark of energy. Our energies have literally gone into resonance. They have vibrated, they have collided, they have gone into resonance. That's when we love at first sight. That instant respect and gratification to somebody, some icon, some guru, something, the connection with your parents, with your mom, with your dad, with your friends. So that is that spark of energy, that instant connection, right? What is disconnection? Disconnection doesn't mean that you don't agree, you are not in the same energy. But what if you, person A and B, and me, C, are all made from the same consciousness? How is it that I love you so much and I hate you so much? The person who loves you so much, there is nothing here. You're already in sync with that person. There is no growth here. You are happy. You need that. This person is the important person in your life with whom you have a disconnect. Because that person, disconnect does not mean that is the opportunity for you to say, what is it that I don't like in you? Why don't I like that in you? You don't like that irrespective of how that person is. I'm not talking about the other person at all. I'm talking about you. Me connecting with these two people. I love this person. I hate this person. Why do I hate this person? What is it that person is triggering in me? That is soul work. That is inner work. They are giving you an opportunity to grow. If you really see that is the opportunity, that is your growth. When I said life will give you hardships and sadness, right? It will never not give you only sadness. It will always give you happiness. You have to understand that happiness. You have to acknowledge that happiness, because this is your solace. It's like your marham. It's like your betnovate kind of thing, right? But you need this to grow. So soul is, if you feel one consciousness, you feel love towards everybody, you're humble, right? There is friendliness, there is forgiveness, there is unity, simplicity, sympathy. This is heart's voice. This is how your heart speaks. What does ego do? Head voice, mind voice. Me, anger, blame, coldness, pride, jealousy, power, complaint, self-importance, intolerance. Whenever somebody is talking, they always talk about me, my sadness, my this. Their ego is ruling. The words are not coming from their heart. There are people who even talk about, my God does this to me. I'm extremely blessed. Even in the way they are talking about their blessings, it is still that my stuff, my, me, everything me. In their sadness, in their sorrowness, they feel that they're alone in this world. Let me break this to you. Nobody is alone in this world. Humans are not built that way. Humans are meant to help each other out. You are nothing without the people around you. Literally nothing. I have this, a jigsaw puzzle, right? Is this a jigsaw puzzle? I think so. Let me see. It's like this. This is a small rocket or something, right? You are one piece. How can you be alone? What is your worth if you're this piece? Nobody cares about you if you're this piece. You need all these people to make you full. Okay, you are green, this person is blue, don't compare with them. Oh, you are red, you are vibrant. No, this has to go here. That's why it was made red. Everybody needs everybody else. In this soul connection of ours, soul family of ours, why am I connected to you? How on earth did you get in touch with me and I am doing this with you? How? Because I'm one part of this puzzle. I'm part of the puzzle where you belong. We all belong to the same puzzle. Individually, the pieces, it doesn't matter if you're the biggest piece, the brightest piece. It doesn't matter if you don't coexist. We all have to coexist. If you don't coexist, it doesn't make sense. This is God's picture. God sent each of you with a purpose. Your place is this and this only. Your place is tail only. You try to change yourself, color yourself blue, go change your shape to be here. You won't fit here. Because you are changing yourself. This person is not changing himself. When you go there, that place is already occupied. You are lost because you change yourself to be somebody else. You lost your place. That means you lost your purpose. You just did not lose your purpose. You impacted everybody. The puzzle is not complete now. This person has worked their asses off to be and do the right thing. It doesn't matter at all when you don't do the right thing. You have not screwed up yourself, you have screwed up everybody else. So come out of me, my stuff. Please come out. Think for a moment. There are so much more in the world out there. The more you sit in me, my stuff, my family, my feelings, my pain, my thing, my job, my kids, my husband, you will never come out of the rut. If there is beautiful rainbow out there, beautiful sunsets out there, every day happens, whether you are sulking or you're happy, beautiful sunset happens. If you close yourself in your room and don't come out and appreciate it, that is your problem. I'm giving you beautiful sunsets. God is saying, I'm giving you beautiful sunsets. You're not coming and watching it and living in that moment of exhilaration in that 1 second. The shades of sunset throughout the sunset is so beautiful, right? If you are sulking inside and not stepping out, that is your problem. So do you see how you have beautiful things around you, but you're not appreciating it? Ego is a collector of programs. Mind mistakenly believes they are needed for survival. At least now in this day and age, I don't think we need that kind of survival programs. Not to that extent, at least. Results of letting go are very quick and subtle that you won't know, you won't realize. But the effects are very powerful. How it improves your mindset, how it brings courage in you, how you handle the future problems. Those are the effects of letting go. It just makes you a better person. If you're somebody who says, nobody likes me, nobody wants to be around me, I don't have friends, then see what you're doing to yourself. What are you presenting to others? Whether you like it or not, it is a selfish world. Everybody is selfish. Your mom, your dad, your kid, your husband, everybody is selfish because they have to be like that. If I'm not getting any benefit out of this, out of giving a talk to you guys, if I'm not benefiting, why will I do it? What is my motivation to come and do it? It is helping me. I am fine. I don't care how it is helping each of you. If it helps, great. But if it does not help me and I'm doing only Samaj Seva, nobody does Samaj Seva. Nobody does it without it benefiting them. First, it has to benefit you. It has to make you some kind of happiness. The pros and cons list of doing any act, the pros have to go up, then cons, only then you will do it. If it is not, you are not doing it. So if you're sulking, if you're in a relationship, bad relationship, if you're doing it, you are taking the pain, that means there is something pro that you are holding on to. You are not stupid. No human is stupid to stay in a place where only the con is more and the pro is not. This never happens. There should be one pro. If a person who is in an abused relationship, maybe they are not able to, they have a fear that this is a known thing. Even though if he hits me, it's a known thing, I will stay here because if I go out, I don't know, it could have been worse. I never learned how to work and earn money. So this financial thing is at least needed. Even though he hits me, I have a house, I have food, I have this thing. I can't feed. There is some pro. I'm not saying it is a good pro, but there is some pro for that person who is living in that situation. That is the only reason they're doing it, right? But once you learn to surrender, so wherever you are in, don't do a pity party. Don't feel sad for yourself. Don't feel that, oh my God, I'm like this. No. If you are in that situation, I want you to take a close look of your situation. What is the pro in this? One, these are all awareness, right? When you're not aware, you're just passing blanket statements. My life sucks. I have all these problems. I have these health problems. I have these relationship problems. I have these job problems, financial problems. You're generalizing it. Ask more and more questions. Only if you have an effort of what can I do about it? What can I do about it? How can I solve this problem? Then you will find solutions. Then you will, the moment you come into that, I want to solve this problem, the universe will shower resources. They have always been there. You never looked at them. It's like, it is there. See, if I want to do this puzzle, right? It is sitting there in front of me. I want to do this puzzle. I want to have fun of doing this puzzle. I have to make effort of cutting the package, taking it out. It is there in front of me. It has been there. So like that, all the resources are always there around you, provided you get out of your comfort zone and work on it, right? And when fully surrendered, it disappears from our consciousness. When you surrender the thought completely, it will cease to exist. That means you won't even remember that. That means you are not putting layers and layers of things on top of it. And oftentimes, when does it feel like this isn't working? Yes, I'm doing all these things. Yes, I learned about this. I'm doing this and everything, right? I want you to remember that you have come a long way since you were born, on what are the things that you learned. Infant, toddler, preschooler, grade schooler, teenager, young adult, middle age, old age. We learned a lot of different skill sets. We went through a lot of hardships. We survived. If you have come up all the way, there are a lot of things that you have learned. When you're a very young infant or a toddler, you have this question of trust or mistrust, right? Who do I trust? Your parents are the only ones you can trust. You cannot trust anybody else. That's why a baby cries when they go to a stranger, because they have that huge, oh my God, I cannot trust this person at all. That's why infants, they cry the moment you give them to anybody else. Only with the comfortable people, they are fine. From there, we came to a place where you stand in a party, you go to a party where you don't know anybody, you are not freaking out. You learned that art of the talent of trusting people, even though you don't know them to a certain extent. And if things go bad, we have learned a lot of things: instinct, intuitiveness, autonomy, how to overcome shame and doubt. We built an identity for ourselves. We made real connections with people in our, over the course of life. We have created an integrity, right? We have done all those things. You have come a long way. Don't give up saying that this isn't working. If a baby who's trying to walk, they give up and say it is not working, will they ever be able to walk? Right? We all are little bit closer to the consciousness. We don't see it. We don't acknowledge it. We are always looking at the problems we have in our hand instead of looking at how much we have accomplished. If you acknowledge how much you have accomplished, you will have the confidence in you that I can do more. If I could do so much, I can do more. There is something called a gains chart in finance and everything, right? They show you, any company you're working, every year over year, they'll show you revenue growth. How did we do from previous years, right? When you see that, that's when you will know. Once a year, we have this all hands where people show like how much we have grown from this time to this time. What is the projection for next year? What are we expecting? If it's $100 million business, then we are expecting $200 business next time, or $1 billion, something like that. So if you keep track of your progress, look at what you accomplished so far, appreciate it. Before you started, where were you and where are you now? You will still feel all the emotions. It is not that because you're an 80-year-old person who lived your entire life, you went through everything, entire life cycle, now you're retired and everything, does it mean you won't feel anger anymore? No, you will still feel it. But the way in which you will handle it now is different from how you would have handled it when you were very young. You will still get it, but you would have mastered how you would have handled it, right? You will let go them faster. Resistance of letting go. Letting go of negative feelings is literally undoing of ego. The power of ego is so much, but it's like a stubborn toddler, right? If they don't want to do something, the more you feed them into their stubbornness, they will grow more and more stubborn. If you ignore them, if you ignore what your ego is telling you, if you ignore that, hey, ego wants to make you feel good, so it will take out the blame from you and put the blame on others. It is raining, that's why you didn't go out. If you let go of listening to that ego, then you can really feel the feelings, right? And letting go of negative feelings, there will be resistance at every turn. And the technique itself seems like very, come on, how can you, like, this is, you'll get bored of it. You will get tired. You'll be like, oh my God, I cannot do this anymore, right? The solution is to simply keep on letting go. When we are doing this, we'll forget to surrender. We'll have a sudden upsurge of escapism. We'll try to vent out our feelings, expressing it out in a very loud way, acting out, all these things. They keep happening. It's like a spiral. It'll keep happening and happening and happening all the time. But still, you should not resist. You should not drop it. You should still simply keep letting go. And the fact is, let go of the feelings you have about the process itself. Let go. First thing is to let go of the technique, let go of the process. It's like, this is not working. Don't resist the resistance, is what it is. Signs of real progress. First of all, to start with, you don't have to let go of anything. Nobody's forcing you. You are free. You are here voluntarily. You have some problems in life that you want to address. That's why you are here. Nobody's forcing you. If somebody's forcing you and you don't feel like doing it, just drop it. If your spouse or your parent or your sister or your brother or your relative or friend said, you have to do this, and you are here against your will, and you are like trying with a very resistive mind, it won't work. So until you are ready, you don't have to let go of anything. Just drop it. Don't take the stress. Right? Then fear behind the resistance. Let's say you are willing, but you are, what is the fear? What could be the fear behind the resistance? What is it that you're scared of this process? What if this won't work? I tried so many programs, they didn't work. Okay. Let go of that. Forget about whether it will work or not. Just give it a try. Right? And keep letting go of every fear as it arises of the program itself. The resistance will resolve. Once the resistance is resolved, that's when you're actually ready to let go of feelings. First, let go of the resistance you have towards the progress. We are working towards letting go of all the programs that made us a victim. Let's say you start a diet process, right? Why do you think there are so many diet programs? They worked for some, clearly. They have the testimonials, the images, pictures, and everything of before and after, right? They worked for some people. Oh, I tried so many programs, nothing works for me. You have resistance towards every program even before starting it. You forget that you actually lose 20 pounds. Later on, you put on weight when you stop the process. If you keep hanging on to it, you might hit a plateau. You might not. That's where people quit, right? They lose some, they're excited, and then they hit a plateau, they stop. They try, say, 1 year I was on a plateau. Why? Because you did not follow it completely, you gave up. And slowly you will gain because you have quit everything and you started overeating again. For us, the thing is, we have been in that victim mode all the time, and not just our thinking, our people around us. It's not your fault. Your husband is always like this. It is your husband is doing this. Your kid is doing this. Why are you not taking control of your life? It's the people around us who are feeding things into us, who have made us a victim. And actually, we find solace. We make friends with those people are nice to you. You feel that those are real friends who sympathize with you. They are not helping you in any way. And people who are like very curt with you and try to pull you out, you see them as, oh my God, she doesn't even understand me. It's not that, your truth of your real identity has been blinded if people are constantly making you a victim. But once you start letting go, ego is losing ground. Now, when ego loses ground, what does it do? It will again try to find its place, right? So it will do tricks. It will try to make you unconscious about the technique. It will make you feel that mechanism of surrender is not working. It will try to tell you that this is very confusing. It is still the same. Why am I doing this? All those thoughts are ego misleading us. Right? The sign of real progress is actually when you are feeling all those thoughts. When those thoughts come, if you can handle them and continue, then you have moved forward. You have broken that cycle. Letting go is a natural ability. It is not something you have to learn new. We always have it. We know how to do it. Once we just use our inner nature to get freer and happier, we have that ability already. What are thoughts? Thoughts have resistance. They are images mind created. They are fakes that obscure the truth. and prevent us from experiencing what actually is. It is they are creating veils, colored veils and everything, screens that are not letting us see the actual truth. Those are thoughts. Don't think of the technique. Don't think of, I mean, this is all the introduction, by the way. It is trying to explain to you the mechanism of letting go. Whenever it explain how to let go of each thought, don't try to think of, oh, step 1, step 2, did I do? Don't worry about it. Just do it. Practice letting go and experience reality. Real self is space between the thoughts. That is what is meditation all about, right? In meditation, they say observe the thoughts. So many thoughts will come, but at the end of the day, it is finite amount. Thoughts are not infinite. There is finite amount of thoughts. Once you keep meditating, the practice, the art of meditating, the more you sit every day for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, how much ever it is, there will be a tiny space in between those thoughts. Once you practice it, that space between the thoughts keeps expanding. That space between the thoughts, it's like I told you, right? The cement block, you're chiseling it out. Let's say one corner you chiseled more and you saw, otherwise it's hopeless, right? If I didn't tell you, if not this, you're somewhere up here, I didn't even tell you how deep it goes. That's the place we are all in. We don't know how much buried our real self is. We don't know. There is no book which tells us you have 10 layers or 10 feet of this thing, wall before you and your thoughts, your inner self. If we could quantify it in some way, it would be so great, right? At least you know where you are. But unfortunately, that's not there. The metric is not there. It is there. If you see the map of consciousness, if you see all the emotions, then you will know where the metric is, how far you are in your spiritual journey and everything. But when you're meditating and when you see that calmness between the thoughts, that is what it is. That is the reality. The moment you see that, when you lose track of time, doing something, when you lose track of time, not just meditation, an artist who is painting, they sit there for hours. Where are the thoughts at that time? They are nowhere. You don't get any thoughts when you're doing something you're passionate about. And you're so productive. The output is so good. You are so people are learning painting. And my friend recently retired, like 1.5 years ago retired, and she took up painting and she did so beautifully. I mean, I could never have imagined Deb being such a good painter. But when you love something and put your heart into it, when you put, she's very good as an employee. The dedication, the sincerity she has, and what she built and everything is amazing. Now she took all that energy and put it in elsewhere. Wherever you do things, right, where you get that silent awareness underneath all the thoughts, that is reality. That is real. How do I know what is real and what is not real? How do I know what is Maya? Whenever you can experience, your thoughts are not interfering, that is reality. Do we need all those thoughts? Jeff Bezos, Amazon CEO, he said that do something you're very passionate about and don't try to chase what is kind of the hot passion of the day. What is the technology that I have to learn to get a better job? Yes, that is good, but that is at a superficial level. But what is it? What field gives me more money? Instead of that, what am I passionate about? What if you're not at all passionate about coding, but software jobs pay you the most? Do you want to go software? Instead, if you are passionate about something and you follow your passion, you will create something out of it. Something nice will come out and you'll be happy and content, and money will automatically come. Right? When we love what we do, time passes, no resistance to effort. When there is no resistance, right, it's smooth. Everything is so smooth. So you're not putting any effort. When you're not putting any effort, what is happening? You're not expending much energy. That means you're not tired after doing all that. When you love your job, you're not tired at the end of the day after your job. When you love cooking, you're not tired. You don't look at it as a chore. You are passionate about it. So you will come home and cook. All these won't become burdens on you. So whatever is burdening you, see if you like it or not, and see, do I really have to do this? Or how can I change it? Or what element can I add into it so that I'm passionate about it? Anything you're passionate about, your energy does not drain off. Automatically, you'll wake up in the morning. My son, otherwise, he sleeps like crazy. He has this debate. You don't have to wake him up. He wakes up at 5, 6, anytime. No, like, otherwise, you're messaging him, hey, wake up, or where are you, or did you wake up or not? He won't even see his message. That message does not even, he won't even hear it. But the same thing, 6 o'clock, debate is there. His phone would have, charge would have gone away. The alarm wouldn't have come. His mental clock will raise him. He does not need food. He will sit there forever for any number of hours. He'll start at 6. He'll stop at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Again, morning next day, he'll wake up at 6, because that is not draining his energy. He's loving what he does. When you love what you do, there is no friction. There is no resistance. And it's smooth. Just imagine if you pick a job where you love, you are not tired at the end of 8-hour workday, right? Thoughts are like bait to a fish. You catch the thought. If the fish catches the bait, fish should know, I know it's a bait. I have seen it several times. If I catch it, I'll die. So thoughts are like that. If you don't hold on to thoughts, you're free. The fish is free in the ocean as long as it does not touch the bait. It should not get lured into the bait. If you don't get lured into your thoughts, your life is fine. Momentum of letting go. So our awareness, outside of our awareness, but inside of us, we have this thing which I already know everything I need to know. That is our soul. Our soul has gone through so much of journey. It has accumulated so many things, right? See, right now as an adult, are you worried that you cannot get up and walk? Unless you have other health issues, but it's an obvious thing, right? It's an obvious thing that I learned how to walk, right? Next life, when I become a baby and go through the life cycle again, you know that you will figure out. So this is not my first life. At least I don't think so. So I had lived past lives. I have done some things. I have gone through my childhood, my adolescence, my motherhood or fatherhood, or parenthood or whatever. I went through all those things. I somehow survived, right? So even though right now in this life, I don't remember anything like that, that confidence and trust that I think I can do this. If not, forget about past lives. You don't think about those things. I'm seeing my mother. I'm seeing all my aunts and uncles and my parents and in-laws and everybody. It's okay. They are 80 now, 70 now. I think I'm 40s now. Okay, I can do it. That kind of thing should be there for everything. I already know everything I need to know. Once I let go of all the resistance, that will be revealed to me. It's like, let's say your parent has hiding one like ruby necklace or some very precious thing. They will give it to you as inheritance only when they think you are ready as an adult and you will not, or you need it, right? It's there. The money or the valuable thing it's always been there, stored in some place in a locker. You are just not aware of it, but it is there. When you're in really need of, you're buying a house, you need some loan or something. Okay, here is my diamond necklace, take it. If you have the trust that I already know everything I need to know, but it is out of my awareness. As of now, I cannot imagine it, but it is already there, right? So the process of letting go, if you keep letting go when life is not going too well, right? You are beset by unpleasant emotions. So it's, as we talked about it, it's like there is more to it, right? So you keep surrendering. Finally surrender our way out of it. Now you have like, oh my God, okay, it's a huge relief. I surrendered everything. Now I'm not angry anymore. All is well. Now what we do is we stop letting go. This cycle should feel very similar to people who diet a lot. We stop letting go. That is the biggest mistake. What happens if Diwali comes, you stop dieting, then it will come back, right? You'll keep eating and slowly it will come back. So mistake. as there is always more to it. When you feel that I have all is well, there is still more to it, right? Take advantage. But one thing is, when you are at a higher level, right? When you are at a place where you are comfortable, okay, I have mastered this, I'm not this anymore. Today, life is pleasant. Today, it is okay. At that time, don't quit. Take advantage of that higher state because you're vibrating at a higher frequency. Now, if you keep on going, it will get better and better all the time. Like, for example, if you do any healing process, right? You go to the healing process because you have some health problem or immediate need, that a job, finance, health, whatever, relationship, whatever, right? Now, once that is done, yes, you need not pay lots of money to get things, keep on healing it, but don't stop there. At that point, now you don't have any immediate needs in your life, of your life is smooth, but now you can go into that map of consciousness and say that, do I have any hidden, suppressed emotions of shame, grief, fear, jealousy? Try working on those. Otherwise, in a day-to-day life, we will never work on them. Because right now, when I'm not feeling well, why will I think about some suppressed emotion to remove it or not? I won't even get that thought, right? So the higher you feel, the easier it is to let go. So take advantage of that elevated state. Whenever you are feeling better, that's when it is to work. You cannot say that, okay, now I'm done. You are never done. It's always, life is all about growing. When you take advantage of the downtime you have, when you are a product owner or something, right? For me, like, for example, holiday season is our code freeze. We are not having regular releases. It is less amount of work, but that is, now it is not there. Now is the time to look into performance goals, to look into improving your personnel, to look into what is the tech debt that I want to do? What are the projects, maintenance projects? What are the things that I want to improve? Otherwise, every day you will not see all those things. When you're having revenue projects, you don't look at maintenance projects. So when you have downtime, that is the best time to take stock of those, to work on those, so that you can budget it into next year. You can ask for more resources, or you can fit into the budget of next year, the next plan, project planning and everything, and actually get it done, right? So that's a good time to reach down and let go of something. And we always have things to let go of. We have suppressed and repressed so much garbage in our lives. No matter how and where you are, you have something to let go of. We wouldn't want to tackle if we were in dumps, right? So stuck with a particular thing, surrender to the feeling of being stuck. Just let it be there and don't resist it. If it doesn't disappear, then let go of the feeling in bits and pieces, right? When we are feeling good, the emotions are merely subtler. It does not mean that they are not existing. They are merely very subtle, that you are not feeling them. So what are the psychological barriers we have? Usually, these are the things that everybody talks about, right? We only deserve things through hard work, struggle, sacrifice, and effort. Suffering is beneficial and good for us. If you did not go through suffering, you won't progress. If somebody is doing good, that means they have suffered a lot in their lives. This is all like very common statements that people say. We don't get anything for nothing. Things that are very simple aren't worth much. These are psychological barriers. These are common beliefs, behaviors, which actually stop us from reaching our goals. Let go of some of these beliefs. To the technique itself. Oh, letting go is so easy. What, emotion holds only for 9 days? Come on, that's nonsense. If that is the case, why am I like this today? Okay, fine. Let go of that. Forget about it. Don't be hard on yourself that I wish I had known this. No, you will be revealed things only when you are ready. Like a guru appears when a student is ready. If you didn't know until now, that's fine. Just take what you have today and do the best you can, right? Allow an enjoyment of its effortless and ease. It's very easy. Letting go is very easy. Forget about all the psychological barriers. Then you'll be fine. And I want to talk about letting go in our Hindu culture, right? There is a Sanskrit phrase which says, idam na mama. This is not mine. That is a way to detachment. This body is not mine. This mind is not mine. If my body, what I'm built of and made of and think of is not mine, then how come any possessions are not mine? This house is not mine. This laptop is not mine. When you think that way, that's the pathway to detachment, right? When you're detached to things, then you will not worry about them. The loss of them won't impact you so much. You're not prideful that you own all these things, all those things, right? All those emotions will drop off. All those thoughts will drop off the moment we see that this is not mine. Similarly, we can apply that to thoughts as well. Jealousy, this is not mine. Let it go. Don't be too attached to it. Anger, this is not mine. Grief, this is not mine. If we inculcate that into our day-to-day life, it is actually becomes very easy. It's hard at the beginning. The more you are attached to things, attached to your possessions, attached to your loved ones, the more hurt it will be, right? There is this Nirvana Shatakam, Adi Sankaracharya. I hope you all know who he is. He is this sage who was born in around 7th century, 8th century. When he was 8 years old, he was going into Himalayas in search of a guru. And one of the gurus, he finds a guru and he asks him, who are you? Instead of telling who he is, he tells who he is not. There is Shatakam means 6. It's not Satakam. Satakam means 100. Shatakam means 6. Shat, 6. There are 6 slokas he says, and that embodies everything related to the one consciousness. Listen to it. In Isha, Sadhguru's Isha program, they have this Nirvana Shatakam for 1 hour. This is what I was telling about that my yoga guru has asked me to meditate upon. Because if you're constant in that meditative state, in that space between thoughts, then you hear that I am not this body, I am not this mind. It registers. And when it registers, the more it registers, you become more dispassionate about things. You become more detached to things, right? Your soul listens to it and acts upon it. And the more you act upon it, the easier it is to let go. If this is not mine, if this phone is not mine, if somebody else's phone, if you see somebody else's phone on the road versus your phone dropped, how would you react for each of those events, right? So the more we tell ourselves on how these things are not ours, that detachment comes in, right? So listen to this Nirvana Shatakam, and in YouTube, actually in the Isha video, they actually give the meaning of each sloka underneath while the sloka is being chanted. It's really nice. The first sloka says, I am not the mind, nor the intellect, nor the ego, nor the reflections of inner self. I am not the 5 senses, I am all beyond that. I am not the 5 elements, I am indeed that eternal knowledge, Shiva, love and pure consciousness. Chidananda Rupa Sivoham Sivoham. So listen to this. It's very interesting. And the more you listen to it, right, you will realize, because all the issues are happening because of attachment towards things or people. Everything is because of that. So that's where we'll end today. Next time, we're going to talk about chapter 3, the anatomy of emotions. And these are some of the topics that we are going to talk about. So we'll see you next week.